The following is a presentation of the Championship Racing Network.
CrossedFlags, a racing podcast. It's your midweek fix for racing news and information. Brought to you by the Championship Racing Network. Now let's head trackside to join your hosts, Steve West and Matt Nicholson.
Happy 4th of July week from all of us here at Crossed Flags. A couple of people who are not pictured include producer John, who is helping us out today as we are once again doing the home game, as you can tell by the background. Producer Molly, who is going to help us make sure that we're on all the different streaming places and video places that we need to be, along with John. And, of course, Matt Nicholson and myself, Steve West, wearing patriotic garb, or at least trying to. Hope you're doing well. As we gear up towards this weekend, big show, we'll talk about round of 32 going to the round of 16 in the challenge that's going in the in-season challenge at NASCAR, so we'll detail that. There's a new podcast coming out. Can it rival our award-winning podcast that we're doing right here? I don't know, but we'll talk about that. Formula One going through some changes. Cadillac needs to make some changes. Kind of previews of what's coming up as we get ready for the big show. As far as this show is concerned, we're going to actually get into some NHRA stuff, but a little bit later, want to talk a little bit about the TV side of things, because now we've seen 3 of the 4 TV partners, at least one race from 3 of the 4 TV partners. We kind of know what to expect from NBC. We know pretty much what to expect from Fox. Let's do a little comparison coming up. Plus, Matt was eagle-eyed enough to notice something late in the, it might have been, was it after the race when you saw the backup car on the 33 side?
It was probably during the car swap out.
Okay, so we'll talk about what you noticed there, but first things first. Okay, first things first, want to kind of get into the NHRA, and we don't generally deal a whole lot with the National Hot Rod Association on the podcast because there just hasn't been that really big story. It's happened once in a while, but not as often as we'd like. But a first-time winner, I think, is notable, considering the fact that it is this first-time winner's rookie year, and considering the kind of murderer's row of people that she went through. Yeah, there's your preview. To get to that first win, I think it's notable that we talk about Ron Capps Motorsports, and specifically not only Ron Capps winning in Funny Car, but Maddie Gordon there holding up the Wally trophy that you see, because she got her first win in Top Fuel. And Matt, you were watching this. You were keeping track of it, as well as watching what was going on out at Sonoma last Sunday. Who did she have to go through to get that trophy?
Round 3, she went through on Langdon. And then in the final round, she went through Antron Brown. That's not a slack lineup to have to go through.
No. Wow. When we saw her at the beginning of this season, we were kind of wondering the news about her getting on with Ron Capps. I mean, Ron Capps really put a big time investment into this young driver, and you and I got to talking about her. And while it's not a full resume, obviously it's her rookie year, what she has done so far, obviously it does seem that Ron Capps's faith in putting her in a Top Fuel ride at the top levels of the NHRA is well deserved.
Yeah, and it's all a gamble, but his bet is paying off.
Yeah, I'd say that in a big way. So congratulations to her. Congratulations to him. Ron Capps, veteran man, multiple-time champion. If I remember reading it correctly, this was his 80th career win in Funny Car. Not a surprise. Maddie Gordon, I don't want to say her winning is a surprise. I want to say her winning this early and going through the ladder that she went through might be the surprise.
Yeah, she held her own at Norwalk. That's about the simple way I can say it. And then with Rob Flynn, her crew chief, dialing that car in as good as he did, she earned it.
Yeah.
She earned it.
First win of the year, only win of the year, or is she I say a threat. I mean, obviously she is the threat. She can make the ladder. She can make the finals. Realistically, though, what are her chances of getting another win and maybe vaulting herself well inside and making the chase or the countdown for the championship?
I would say pretty substantial.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
You think she's pretty solid,
I would
ready
say
to go?
it's really good.
Okay. That win certainly helped.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely helped, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I would say she's got a likelihood of winning 2 to 3 more
this year.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I would bet.
And one other note here before we kind of go into TV side, you also noted this about Maddie Gordon, and this was at the first race of the year. I didn't get to watch what happened at the Gator Nationals, but the very first race of the year, Gator Nationals, you happened to have the opportunity to see it. She has already got a significant fan base.
I would say significant is an understatement. She's at the level. I'm going to say at the level that John Force was at for crowd support.
Well, that's huge. That's huge. Congratulations to Ron Capps Motorsports, Ron Capps for winning in Funny Car, and of course, Maddie Gordon. That first win, you know about that first win situation there, the excitement of being able to hold up that very first trophy. You know, I don't even know whether you can try to explain it, but by all means, feel free to give it a try.
That's always the hardest one to win. But when you win the second and third one and down the line, comes that much easier.
Sure. Yeah. Well, like you said, getting the first one off of your shoulders, a bit, big weight off your shoulders, the big monkey off your back, whatever you want to call it. And now you just kind of relax because you're not so concerned, might be the best word to, your mind isn't racing. Hey, when am I going to get that first win? You now have that win, and now you can just concentrate on the job at hand, knowing you've done it and you can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Exactly right.
All right. So year 2 of the new TV deal for NASCAR. And of course, this is the situation where Fox Sports 1 and maybe Fox gets a race or two in the Craftsman Truck Series. The CW has all of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, but yet the Cup Series is split amongst 4 properties. Kicks off with Fox, with some Fox Sports 1, then goes to Amazon Prime. Now it's on TNT Sports. And if you don't get specifically TNT Sports, you might notice you can also stream it on HBO Max, judging by the picture that producer John has put up right there. So that's good news. And then you go to NBC, which tends to put the vast majority of their races on USA. Whether or not they show up on the Peacock streaming network, that's another story entirely. In looking at this and knowing my feelings about Fox and NBC from previous times, previous years, and knowing that really not much has changed from last year to this year, I like Fox. I like Mike Joy. I know he's got his critics. I think Kevin Harvick does a great job. Clint Boyer tends to be a little bit on the interrupting side. I go over to NBC. I'm a little less with them. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that we've got a great main announcer. My biggest problem, and there's a personal side to it as well, is Jeff Burton, who I'm not overly impressed with. I haven't been overly impressed with NBC's coverage altogether. So I would rank Fox ahead of NBC. I haven't had the chance to see TNT because I got busy this past Sunday. I was involved in work and unfortunately will be again this weekend as they head to Chicagoland. So I'm not going to be able to see it. I might be able to catch the tail end part of it because the July 4th weekend also happens to have our Birmingham Barons in town, and the radio station group Cumulus Media, that is the fine progenitors of this here podcast that you're watching, are the affiliates, and I happen to do Sunday games. So I might be able to catch the tail end part of it, but I'm not as overly familiar with what TNT does. I do know what Amazon Prime does. And what I know from Amazon Prime is the fact that they have an advantage. really, you might be able to call it 2 advantages over everybody else. Being the streaming service that they are, they can much easier, make it much easier to adjust, which they did for one race, to move up time, to get in a race before the rains are coming in. And they did a very nice job of doing that at Pocono. They can have as long a pre-race show as they want.
Yeah.
They can have as long a post-race show as they want. And because of the fact that they are not beholden to any cable company, they have their own commercial breaks. And in their own commercial breaks, it looks exactly like what you're seeing here. 2 windows, 1 window, for example, where Matt is would be the on-track action. The window that you see me in is where the commercials played. Amazon Prime has set a standard. And I get it. There are people that simply will not subscribe to Amazon Prime. They won't do it for ordering stuff on Amazon and then you get Prime along with it. None of that. They insist that they're not going to do it. And you're more than welcome to choose that. But I think if you don't pay attention to what they're doing on Amazon Prime, you're missing out. To me, they are the best of the 4.
After seeing the overall production quality of the broadcast from TNT, and I mean overall, that's from top to bottom, Prime has got a new challenger.
Okay. So TNT did that well in race number 1.
TNT did quite a good job. The pit road combination minus Mama Smith. Marty Snyder, Shannon Spake, and Daniel Trotta did an exceptional job.
Yeah.
Adding Marty Smith into the pre-race show and doing the post-race stuff, very good move.
Okay.
The graphics package that TNT.
Okay. And you showed me a still shot of that, and I took a really close look at it. You texted it to me. I took a really close look at it. Very bright, very readable, as opposed to kind of that scrolling thing across the top, which it doesn't really do a whole lot of good. It didn't for me anyway. What they did with that, it was a big time improvement. I'll give them a lot of credit for that. Yes. Or the commentary booth is the same thing that we saw on Amazon Prime, correct? Okay, so no change there. I would expect them to do a very solid, maybe not overtly spectacular, but between Dale Jr. and Steve Letarte, they're certainly very knowledgeable. And Adam Alexander, I think, does a very fine job as the main commentator.
Adam Alexander has picked his game up substantially.
Okay, and that's I think that's a fair statement, and I agree with you 100%. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get yourself comfortable in that role. And he's certainly not doing it the number of times that, say, Mike Joy is doing it. And he certainly doesn't have the number of years of experience in doing it. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get doing it.
Yep, fully agree.
All right. So other than Mama Smith, okay, yeah, I got you. Danielle Trotta, Shannon Spake, very, very solid along pit road, like you said. And Danielle Trotta, of course, did the pre-race stuff for Amazon Prime and the post-race. NASCAR veteran, knows her stuff. Shannon Spake, same thing. She took over back the old Speed Channel / Fox Sports 1 when they were doing NASCAR race day. Both of them very knowledgeable about NASCAR. Certainly shouldn't have any problems being able to get the information that they need because they are known names around the area. Marty Snyder is the same way. And Marty Smith, let's face it, the man is just as solid as a rock pretty much in whatever he does. The thing about it is, he cut his teeth in NASCAR. I get it, but he's gone on. He's done tennis. He's done some golf. He's you name it. He's probably done it at least one time for ESPN or somebody.
ESPN, now TNT. I think he did a little bit for TNN too as well. A little bit.
Yeah, you actually might be right on that. I would not be surprised at all. So they're solid. So in your overall rankings, let's go 1 to 4. Who are you putting at the bottom of the rankings? Who's the bottom of your rankings? I guess I would put it that way.
I'm unfortunately, oh boy, bottom of the rankings. I'm gonna have to go Fox.
Okay.
Not because of who the lead play-by-play is, because of the overall production quality.
Okay.
And, just the overall production quality.
So it's not necessarily the announcer lineup that you're worried about when you're talking about this. You're looking at the production side of things, how they present it on television.
Right.
Okay.
Third,
right. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Third, I'll go NBC.
Okay. Guess
what?
Eight networks, you got work to do.
Yeah. I'll go NBC third because their production is just a hair better than Fox's. And that's where I give them the edge. I'll put Diffie and Joy on the same level.
I would agree. Yeah. Joy may be a little bit more knowledgeable about NASCAR only because of the fact that he's been doing it for longer.
Right.
But I'm here to tell you, you and I, we've had the opportunity to do this. We'll step out in the hallway up there in the tower at Talladega in the fall race, and I'll just sit there and listen to Lee Diffie for a couple of minutes and come to the understanding of how good he has gotten in a very short term. And this criticism of him with the foreign accent coming in and calling NASCAR, forget the accent. What's the quality of what it is that he's bringing to the broadcast? Right. That's what you should be paying attention to.
You could take Jeff Burton completely out of that booth, and Lee Diffie could carry the whole broadcast.
I thoroughly agree personally, but that's my opinion.
It could carry the entire broadcast.
Yeah.
After seeing what I saw this weekend, I'm going to go 1B as TNT.
Okay, so they're that close for you.
That TNT narrowed the gap substantially.
Okay.
And Prime is 1A.
Yeah. And again, I got to give TNT the incomplete because I haven't seen it. And the only reason I do it is because I think the announcing crew, Clint Boyer needs some work, but the announcing crew to me, it makes the difference. For you, it's the production value. For me, it's the announcing crew. I put NBC on the bottom. I put Fox at 2, and I put Amazon Prime at 3. And like I said, I give an incomplete right now to TNT until such a time as I can actually see it. And then once I do that, maybe we'll revisit these rankings just for a moment. And like I said, hopefully that'll be this Sunday night, and we'll make mention of it next week on CrossFlags. Speaking of making mention, we obviously know what happened, the tragic situation with Kyle Busch. Richard Childress Racing switching the car number from 8 to 33. Presumably, Austin Hill's going to be in that car next year, although nothing's been announced. We know it's not going to be Jesse Love. Jesse Love's going to the 21 car for Wood Brothers Racing in the Cup Series. Leaves Josh Berry out in the cold for now. I think that'll change before too long. But in doing that, not everything has been 100% prepared, you noted over the weekend there, Matt.
Yeah. Of course, as you hear my choir in the background.
Sure.
The hauler wrap hasn't been changed yet. It still has the number 8 on it.
And there's a part of me that actually hopes that they don't.
If they haven't changed it by now, I don't think they're going to change it.
Yeah, I think it's a neat honor. And you say, okay, well, how did that happen? Well, remember, we're going from San Diego to Sonoma. There was no sense in taking your main hauler and taking it from Charlotte. We'll say Charlotte, obviously. They're all around the Charlotte area, so we'll just say Charlotte in general. Charlotte to San Diego, driving it all the way back to San Diego, or all the way back to Charlotte, grabbing new stuff for Sonoma and going all the way back out to Sonoma. That's ridiculous. So what NASCAR allowed them to do was to meet up on the grounds of the old Auto Club Speedway, which, by the way, saw some pictures of the status of that, and that looks like death warmed over.
And then some.
It's just so sad. So the teams were allowed to bring out their Sonoma stuff in their secondary haulers, and all the teams pretty much have them. They met up at the grounds at Auto Club, swapped out what they needed to. The secondary haulers go back to Charlotte, and the main haulers go up to Sonoma.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, it's amazing how they are able to make all of this work and get these 3,000 plus miles from the Charlotte area to the LA area and get all this stuff taken care of. The logistics of this are just amazing. But to stop and think that RCR, and again, here's the question. We know they've rewrapped the cars. They specifically did that, and we already saw that 25 years ago when they had to rewrap the number 3 to the number 29 in a hurry when they put Kevin Harvick in the car. That's the right thing to do, but I think at the same time, it kind of honors the fact that that's still the Kyle Busch team by keeping the 8 wrap on that hauler. I think it's the right thing to do.
Yep.
I hope that they do keep it that way.
Yeah. And then somebody caught a picture of a car swap out.
Yeah.
Then when they did it, and the backup car for Sonoma still had a number 8 wrap on it.
That probably would have gotten changed if they had to break it out.
If they would have had to, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunate to a certain extent, because would have loved to have seen the number 8 back on the track. But I get it. That's Kyle Busch's number, and that's the way Richard Childress and Richard Childress Racing looks at it. But yeah, very cool. And hopefully, if we don't get the chance to go to a race before then, when they come to Talladega, I hope when they wheel that thing in, it's still got the number 8 look on it. I really do.
I agree.
I think it would be a very, very cool thing. 4th of July weekend, whatever it is that you got planned for this 4th of July weekend. It's a busy race weekend. I can tell you that. Full schedule coming up, of course, at the very early parts of the big show this coming weekend. But it is going to be a busy, busy weekend on the track all around the world. I couldn't resist, but I'm going to make a little bit of fun of this because on the July 4th weekend, they're running the British Grand Prix in Formula One. And let's face it, that's who we're celebrating gaining our independence from. So I'm trying to figure out how many ways I can have fun with that. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, you guys have a good time. And we'll talk to you on July 4th itself that morning, gearing up for it. So whatever it is that you got planned, be careful, be safe. Hope to see you on Saturday morning, the big show, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Time. Big thanks to producers Molly and John. And of course, Matt, my sidekick and the resident driver. Thank you very much for checking us out. Download, subscribe, all that kind of stuff right down there below, please. We appreciate it. And if you already have, thank you. Tell others about it as well, okay? And we will talk to you Saturday morning on the big show on CRN.
You've been listening to Crossed Flags, a racing podcast. For more content like this, subscribe to CRN Live on YouTube, and you'll be set to catch the 2-hour live show every Saturday morning at 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
This has been a presentation of the Championship Racing Network.